everyone, Shadowsun here. Welcome back to my channel. So if you are new, I discuss my experiences as a blind solitary witch. Please ignore the sound in the background. I want to talk a little bit about intersectionality and inclusion. I've been doing a lot of thinking about that lately. I am a big proponent of being inclusive in a way that promotes understanding of inclusivity and intersectionality. I talked about this in another video with Cricket Song on her channel. I will link that video below. I did not link that in the blog post just because I didn't get a chance when I got everything done. But I do have some resources as well in the description, so please check them out. And I have some thoughts on this. To me, being inclusive means having access and being equal and being able to participate in something, whether it's an event, a meeting, a circle, a coven, gathering, whatever it is. And intersectionality to me involves intersecting one or more identities. This could be race, religion, sexuality, etc. And I know that intersectionality has had a long history. I've done many research on this, I should say. And I find that a lot of things are changing in terms of making things inclusive. And I find that things are, changing in terms of what is being done to make people more inclusive. I just think that a lot of people don't understand certain aspects of being inclusive or understand what it means to be as part of multiple communities. So for example, a lot of people, for those who don't know, I'm part of multiple intersecting communities. I'm part of the Latinx community, I'm part of the LGBTQ plus community, and a lot of the times, and again, I'm also part of the disabled community. So a lot of times people don't know any of this and they assume a lot of things. People assume that I can't be LGBTQ for one reason or another, and I think that's honestly just societal. I think that a lot of people just make assumptions about people with disabilities. Also, I think that people just make assumptions about people in general. Further, I think that, being part of the Latinx community, I use the term collectively, I feel like people don't realize that unless I'm, speaking Spanish or unless I, look, dark or whatever. And just people make these, people don't assume that because I'm part of these things, I can't be part of this community. And that's where I think things need to change in terms of that, but that's just mainly just a societal thing. And for me, as far as making things inclusive and having intersecting identities, I feel like it comes down to how you approach people and asking them questions like, what makes you feel more inclusive? What makes you feel like you're fully participating in something? For example, like if you're in a coven situation, what can those, having conversations between leaders and members of the community and talking about what makes someone actually feel like they're fully involved in their community and their coven. And I think that goes into just asking questions of people and asking them, what they need. And they speak more about this in terms of that in the blog post. Like, this is more specific to people with disabilities, but asking people what they need to make them feel comfortable in that space does not just apply. I think all of this applies to every community regardless of disability. So, maybe for me, for example, when I watch something, I like to have descriptions for videos and things, and the description helps me understand what's in the video, but also can help somebody, pick up something that they may have missed. Like maybe they watch the video and they're like, oh yeah, this is somebody's altar, but maybe they missed a part of that, and through the description they're able to figure that out. It doesn't just help me, it helps other people as well, in my opinion. And I think that it helps. A lot of times I see people put music and then they put these slideshows on the video, which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. Nothing wrong with that. To me, I think that it's important to have little descriptions or having voiceovers on, like people describing what those pictures are can help other people like myself who are visually impaired to understand a great deal of what's going on in those videos. That said, that is happening. I have seen videos where people are doing that. And that can help someone get to know, like, maybe what they're doing as part of their practice. I didn't mention that too much in the post, but I mentioned, like, watching altar videos, altar tours. And one thing that came to mind as I'm thinking about this and talking about this now is people do a lot of Book of Shadows tours or grimoire tours and showing their books. And I love when they're describing it because it gives me an understanding. And also just, it may inspire other people through that description. Maybe they want to make it just like that, make it look, however fancy or however simplistic you are making it. These could be expanded on. I could go on and on about different ways to make somebody inclusive. And going back to the whole, like, coven, like, in-person thing, descriptions can add a great deal of help. So, for example, maybe if you are observing a ritual in a festival, or observing or participating in a ritual, having an idea of what's going to happen beforehand can keep people engaged and interactive, and keep it interactive, but also it can help people understand, like, what's coming up so that they know how to respond. So, for example, if I was in a ritual and they were doing a specific thing and they wanted me to light a candle or they wanted me to do something else, maybe I would need a little bit more direction, perhaps, or just, maybe I want to make sure that I'm going and facing the right direction if I'm calling a direction, just to make sure I'm doing the thing at the right time and I'm not, disrupting the flow of that ritual because I didn't know, or, and maybe just knowing what other people are doing to help and understand, make sure that maybe there's gestures that people use that I wouldn't be aware of necessarily. Those are just some things that came to my mind. Finally, another thing I want to mention as well is alt text. I know I mentioned this in the blog post, and I've mentioned this in another blog post as well. Alt text, for those who don't know, are essentially a description of what the picture is. So, for example, if I had a picture of my amethyst piece, and I would say, this is a picture of the amethyst. I'm holding it in my hand. It has a rough cut and it's raw. That kind of thing, can help a lot of people because the camera can make things unfocused. The camera, lighting conditions, people miss things. So it doesn't just help people who are visually impaired, it can help other people as well. And again, I can go into this all day long, but this is just some things that I wanted to share with you, some thoughts that I had. So if you guys have any thoughts or comments, please leave a comment below what you guys think. I would love to know your feedback. What are your thoughts on inclusion and keeping, our community inclusive? And I would love to know what your suggestions are for keeping people included in our community, and making sure that people with intersecting identities aren't excluded, and making sure that people have equal access. These are just some thoughts. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Make sure the bell sound is turned on to all. And also, do not forget, if you guys have any comments or thoughts, please leave a comment. Anyway, speak soon. Many blessings.